Hi, good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Really good to have you here with us. Whatever you're doing, whatever you've been doing this weekend, this is your time. This is your sacred space, creating your virtual church online for your virtual congregation coming together for our weekly Sunday spiritual service. My name's Ashley and I'll be chairing this evening. And it's my absolute delight and pleasure to welcome back the very lovely Adam Berry, who's going to be our speaker for this evening. Hi, Adam. How are you doing?
Hi, Ashley. Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be back again this evening to take this service. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming and being our speaker this evening. And for anybody that hasn't, and I don't know if there's anyone left in the UK that hasn't actually seen the amazing Friday Q&A session, that we were very, very blessed to have that very sacred space. And I don't know if you felt it, I felt it, and I had to go back and listen to it again afterwards. Please do have a look at that. It's on the church Facebook page. Underneath this link will be Adam's Q&A address where so much was covered. So please do go and have a look at that as well. Hello to everybody that's checking in as well. Hello, welcome virtual congregation. It won't be long, hopefully, before we can all see each other face to face again. But until we do, hello to Mary and Pauline, lovely Jamie. Hello, Jamie, Helen, Paula, Jackie, Elise. Hello, Elise, I miss you. Nicola, hello, Nicola, and everyone over at Little Port. Really good to have you with us. And everyone we haven't said hello to, please do say hi on the chat and put where you're from in the whole world. It's really nice to see where you are. Amazing. Well, for everybody that's here with us, what we always do, hello Lawrence, hope it all went well this afternoon. Lovely Lawrence from Poole, good to have you with us, and all of the crew from the Poole. From the Poole Church. So what we're going to do is just create that time and space, friends. As we do every Sunday before we start our service, we light a candle together. And we light candles as a symbol of that eternal light, the spark of the divine that resides with all of us, lighting candles for people in the spirit worlds who we are remembering, who are around us at this time. Lighting a candle for healing, for the entire planet, whatever reason you are lighting your candle, this is the time for us to come together. So if everyone can kind of grab their candle. This is where I find that my matches are getting a little bit done. And lighting a candle for all of us this evening. Okay, with my lovely sunflowers. Oh, fantastic. And just feel yourself drop into that space and that different energy, that intention of being together in this church space. And so now it's my great pleasure to hand over to Adam to open our service with the opening prayer.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. If we can all just ask you to just go into the silence and just find that sacred space that resides within each and every one of you, as I just lead the service in a prayer of thanksgiving. Divine and infinite Spirit, the source of all life and of all creation, we give thanks for all that you are, all that you have done, and all that you do to support and encourage the lives that we live. We give thanks for this gathering and communion of souls, hearts and minds in this virtual community, as we all join in a celebration of your power and understanding, for a service of inspirational words and of healing. We acknowledge your miraculous power that lives within us and surrounds us in your light and love. May your light be truly felt and illuminate the darkness in the world at this time. May the inspirational and healing intention of this service reach all those in need, and for them to be aware enough to acknowledge and receive. As we open this service with the ultimate potential of possibilities you present, all in true honor and gratitude. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Now, friends, this is a point in the service where we come together to say the Lord's Prayer. As you may recognise, we're a Christian Spiritualist church, and for that reason, we now move on to say the Lord's Prayer together. So, friends, I'd invite you to do that. And as we come together to say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, everybody. And whilst we're in this prayerful space, this is the point of the service that we dedicate to absent healing and healing of all forms. And we are all able to do that and all able to act spirit to spirit, soul to soul, to connect with those people that need it. So please, at this point, reflect on people you may know and love who need healing or upliftment, or to feel the presence of the Spirit around them at this time. Please also remember yourselves and any depletion or any need within you that you would like Spirit, offer it to the Spirit and ask for help and assistance with that. So I'll recite the healing prayer, and then we'll have a few moments of silence, listening to some music for you to send your own thoughts and talk to your own spirit team. And so we say, friends, may you desire to be healed. May what is wounded in your life be restored to good health. May you be receptive to the ways in which healing needs to happen. May you take good care of yourself. May we extend compassion to all that hurts within our body and our soul. May we be patient with the mystery and the time that it takes to heal. May you be aware of the wonder of your body, mind, and spirit, and their ability to return you back to perfection and full health. May you be open to receive from those who extend kindness, care, and compassion to you. May you rest peacefully under the sheltering wings of divine love and trust in the gracious presence of Spirit. May you find moments of beauty and joy to sustain you and uplift you. And may you keep hope in your heart. Amen. Okay, friends, and now I'm going to play some music for you to send your own thoughts to people that need some upliftment. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Adam, thank you so much for a really lovely prayer.
Thank you.
And I'd now like to hand over to you for your reading.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. So the reading that I've got this evening is a poem. Funnily enough, it's I think it's the same poem that Ashley witnessed when I was over at Bournemouth many years ago, which has inspired me to actually share it again this evening. It's one that I've written, and it's called Happy. As you left this land on your onward flight, leaving our world in black and no light, your presence was love and always so true. Things will never be the same. We will always miss you. Your little reminders of memories so dear. Through music or TV, the signs are so clear. The blackness can lighten when we feel you close. Not close as we once knew, but with a new host. A host of angels that you are now part of. With your beautiful voice, singing your heart out. So as you spread and you leave this land, always remember our time at the ocean by the sand. As the time ticks further in this crazy thing called life, you are always nearer when in our times of strife. So blessed are we to know this truth, that this blackness we feel would really upset you. So we wish you well with all things bright, and colours so precious, no black or white. You was never dull, you wouldn't want us to be down. So it's time to be happy for you and turn this frown around. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm sure you're going to go into it, but the inspiration behind that poem's just beautiful. Thank you so much. Gorgeous words, gorgeous words. And there's a lot of love. Lots of people are really loving your words and the amount of healing that are in those. So thank you for that. And welcome to everyone who's just joined us. Don't worry, you can go back to the beginning and watch it all from the beginning on the replay, but welcome. Welcome. Okay, Adam, can I hand over to you for your thoughts on that, your address?
You can, certainly. Thank you very much. So the inspiration behind the poem is actually with regards to my sister who passed to the spirit world. She was only 45 when she passed, and it was quite sudden. And even as a spiritualist and as a medium, that physical loss of our loved ones when we're so close to them, it can just be so challenging, so heart-wrenching, and we can just be succumbed by grief. And that's just the human nature of us. That's our emotional beings. And I suppose as spiritualists, we're lucky to know that there is continuation of life after life. But that doesn't really help at the time when you lose that person in the physical, because you miss all them material things, them emotional things, those little things that you had between each other. And that can really, especially when they play such an important role within your life as well. So it's like a massive void that goes. They say it's that cliche, isn't it? Time is a great healer. But I do believe that it's not only time, but it's the people that you connect with as well along that time, and the words that are shared along that time. Because believe me, there was no amount of words or anything that could have made me feel that I would ever come to terms with the passing of my sister. But you know what? After time, it wasn't that you get over a grief. It's that you'll start to learn to live with the grief. But that grief turns into something more life. Things will never be the same again, because obviously that person isn't here in the physical to share those things with. But you start to learn the joy once more within life. So when Christmases come along and all them family gatherings and birthdays, we feel it. We have them first anniversaries, don't we? We have them reminders. And even when it's your own birthday, you remember the times where they'd give you cards and the sentimental things that they'd write in them, and all these different things. And you can just be triggered by all sorts of different things and memories. And also we get those little signs that they're around through the music or the TV, like I wrote in the poem. And I think sometimes we need those sort of physical aspects to take our awareness, I suppose, or to grab our attention. Because when we're feeling so suppressed within a grief state, we can't sort of acknowledge people or communicate with people in this physical world, because it's hard to communicate sometimes when you're feeling that sense of depression or anxiety, or however the grief sort of brings it to you. But I've sort of learned that it was the people who I know and love that really come together, that really share in those memories. And we all have a piece of the puzzle with that person, because we all have different memories and different experiences. So as my mum, I think my mum's on here this evening, she has a different perception of being a daughter and a mother and that relationship, whereas I have a brother, and my dad would have the father-daughter relationship. So we have all these different perceptions and different experiences of our loved ones in the spirit world. And I just know it was a gentleman who's a medium and a friend, a very good friend, who sort of brought these words to me to make me feel and understand that, within that grief, you're sort of looking at a door that has been closed, because you're looking at what has been, all the memories, all the past, with everything within them, those people that we know and love, which can be beautiful memories, but they can also be sad memories as well. And what we sort of go through, which is a natural part of grieving, is the shoulda, woulda, coulda. I should have done this, or I could have done this. And why didn't I do that? And all these sorts of things. So whilst we're in the midst of that and all them conscious thoughts of guilt and the grief cycle, do you know what this dear friend of mine cared to point out was, you're missing out on the presence of your beautiful sister. Whilst you're looking at the part that's gone, that'll never be again, because it's in the physical, you're actually missing out on the presence of the beauty of your sister in the spirit world that can very much be close to you, only a thought away. But the more that we distract ourselves on the grief, which is inevitable, we're all human and we all grieve. But it was just those words, and I thought, gosh, as a medium, I should know that. But it was just in its simplicity. It just made me realize that I can actually sit in this silence with the spirit world, and I can learn this new relationship with my sister. Because, as here we have a past, a present, and a future in this world. And two, in the spirit world, there's a past, a present, and a future. And, we are living and works in progress, an eternal progress. And there's been so much evidence from the spirit world to sisters doing fine, and she's explained everything that was here, and that is so healing when things like that can go on. And we can look at what types of legacy that people leave behind, because when they do go to the spirit world, because we are a presence. We have a presence while we're here, because we are a soul and we're a spirit. So the soul is the vehicle of the spirit, and it's the soul powered by the spirit that lives on in the spirit world. And the soul takes all of them experiences and all of that knowledge and all of them memories, and it's that soul that communicates that back as the evidence and the understanding and the love that you shared as people and as loved ones and as family. And it's amazing, the legacies that people can bring. So my sister was one of these people that she just lit up her room when she walked in. She was someone that really fanned the spirit within me when I was younger, in trying to instill me with confidence. And we have people like that within our lives every day, that are really them sort of like the angels that walk amongst us, and really do make a difference in our lives. And obviously when those people do go to the spirit world, gosh, how they are missed. But my word, what are they doing now in the spirit world to make a difference? Because I know certainly my sister is very busy in the spirit world, and very busy in about herself, and also inspiring. She's inspired me, and I felt like I was inspired with that poem, not only from a soul level, from my soul, but a very cathartic level, because I always remember some more wise words from my mentor was, Adam, it's time for you to be happy now for your sister in her new life. And I thought, gosh, I don't think I was quite ready at that point when she said it. But at the point that I wrote this poem, I was ready. And everything seemed to just evolve in some way, and illuminate, and be more free and accepting of what's happened. We can't change anything. We can't change the things that have happened, but we can accept. And within that acceptance, we can help others. We can help other people within our family, our friends, all those people that were touched by that person. We can really help them. We've been in contact with people from friends over time who she was at college with them. The stories that you hear, it's like she's alive again. She's here. And it's just amazing. And that's what I feel that we do as mediums. We really bring that story so that they can share the story of their life, and really, so it's so healing and so inspiring and uplifting just to have that sort of communication. But we can have that communication directly from our loved ones in the spirit world too. As I said, we can sit just within that presence. But sort of going back to the talk on Friday evening, when as you know, I'm very passionate about the soul and the spirit and our purpose. And, all these people that are within our life have some sort of a purpose, because they've enriched our souls. They've educated us. They've brought knowledge. They may have brought pain, but that's learning in some ways. I always believe those people that can hurt us the most are our master teachers, because we learn compassion through that, because we have a choice to either get bitter or get better. And if we get better within our lives, and as we're acknowledging and getting closer to that great spirit without the distractions of the conscious mind, I think it's just amazing what the potential is of each and every person that we know and that walk on this earth and in the spirit world, because the potential never ends. But I wanted to share a story with you, too, as part of this philosophy, and it's really going back to early in my development. And our teacher at the time, I was in my early 20s, and it was Joy, who's actually at Paignton Spiritualist Church now. She moved from our area, but she took us to a place in Burnley, which is kind of local to us. And she says she's taken us to this very like a spiritual guru. Okay, so the group of the students in the awareness class, we all went there, and it was on a Saturday afternoon, and it was in this little home, and we went in and sat in this this old man's living room, and it was the strangest feeling that you can ever imagine, because I was so painfully shy back then. Joy, the teacher, is saying, "Go on, ask him a question, ask him anything spiritual," and it's like, I don't know what to say. You know, I don't know what to say. And obviously other people were asking questions, and then it started to speak, and it's speaking different tones and different accents, and I just thought, this is just a weird old man. Obviously, being with the age I was as well, I'm just thinking, gosh, it was so strange, this. But one thing that stuck with me, which I'll say because it's kind of funny, he was kind of an eccentric man as well. So he used to go to churches and serve, and he used to go on with his sandals on the platform. He was so like new aged and out there, but his philosophy was phenomenal. I never witnessed his philosophy. This is something I've learned after. But he came up with stories that he'd say, I was a man that I'd walk into a church and I'd say all priests should go to hell. And it'd go, and we'd all be shocked with what he just said. And then he'd say, but they dragged me out of the church. They dragged me out and they didn't listen to me answer why. And it's like, and he says, do you want to know why? He says, yeah. It's because that's where priests should go and help people. That's where people need help the most. And I thought, wow, what a way of thinking for people that think in the terms of heaven and hell. And it always stuck with me, that, because he meant it from a really genuine perspective, but no one cared to listen to him. So that was that afternoon. And, you know, I just thought, what a weird experience. I'll be glad to go home and blah, 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 blah. I didn't really get what it was all about. So I'd been in this sort of a difficult relationship for about 3 years. And I was going back to the partner at the time, and I was a bit late. Well, it all hell broke loose because I was an hour late. And something just happened. They said, so what we're going to do tonight? And this rush came upon me, and I just said, I've already got plans. I didn't already have plans. And I'm not a liar either. So it was really strange, this feeling. And I remember feeling all fuzzy. And then he said, why? What are you doing? And I said, well, I'm going to my friend's house. And well, what am I going to do? And it all sort of went into this argument. And then I just said, it's over. And I just ended that relationship. And it was just something that was out of character for me. It was something that wasn't known for me. And it was just all a very strange experience. But I have to say, from that point, that my life changed so positively, where I used to think that if there was anything going good in my life, then there was always something bad to dash it round the corner. And I always I was sort of like neutral. I always felt neutral. But this sort of new outlook on life just came from nowhere. And so much so I went into my work, and I said to my boss, I arranged a meeting and said, I think I should be paid this much. And they went, you're right. And they went, what's happened to you? And I said, nothing. It's nothing. And friends and family started to say, you've changed. And I'm going, but I don't understand. I'm more me than I ever have been me. It was so bizarre. But it's like I could do anything I wanted to do, and there was no restrictions anymore. So I'd always sort of put it down to ending this relationship, and that was the cause of me feeling so repressed. Fast forward a few years, and I saw some friends at like this mind and body and spirit fair, And they was all talking, all these ladies, and they were saying, they was talking about this old guy called Ken, and they used to go around to his house on a Saturday afternoon. It was an open door, and he was like this spiritual guru. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if it's the same one. And then they said these words where they said, yeah, he was such an amazing man, such an amazing spiritual being that, people that just sat within his presence, their lives are known to have changed completely. And I just thought, wow, I'd never put the two together in that day. I'd always thought, and this judgmental side of me, I just went to see a weird old man who could have do all these accents and things. But as I've grown spiritually and understanding, I now realize, and I've some of the quotes that Kenneth has produced. He's written a book called Genesis to Genocide. It's quite a heavy book, but it's very much, he talks about the soul and the spirit within, and the great spirit and God, all these terminologies that I really, really embrace. So I crystallized all these quotations from the book, and I've put some nice picture memes on Facebook. And I've done that as an honor to Kenneth, because I now realize I never said a word to this gentleman. I never, unless I may have said hello to him, and that was that. But he, unknowingly or knowingly, there was something about his presence that moved me, that moved my soul. And it's very much apparent now that the potential that I had, he really either fanned or made me aware of the spirit within me, or ignited some part of that, because it was like this ignition. Something kick-started from that day. I got it that it was the wrong situation, but it was actually him and the realization. So this has really made me aware now that we all have that potential within us to change somebody's life just by being in their presence, because we don't know who we're going to meet on any day. We don't know everybody's needs, because not everybody speaks and says what's going on in the minds or what's going on in the homes and in the families. But you imagine being that light, like a candle, to be able to ignite another's light that's feeling dim, as mine was, that was flickering, that was always questioning what's wrong with me, to I'm completely okay. And that's the presence and the power of spirit within each and every one of us. And I just feel, I'm so passionate about us developing spiritually, developing the purpose of who we truly are, because we have the potential to be doctors, dentists, nurses, teachers, mediums, singers, road sweepers. Whatever the purpose is within this life, it's your purpose, and this is where you find the joy. So once you find that joy within all that you do, you know that the soul is in alignment with the purpose of what you're truly doing. Because we can find that there's so many people soul searching, when all they really need to do is just sit within that power of the Great Spirit, within the power of the soul, and just allow it to unfold into its true potential. Allowing the awareness of all those latent talents that may be dormant, just ready to be acknowledged. And once we can acknowledge those potentials and the purpose, then my word, what we can do for the world, because we are here, I believe, to be of service. No matter what we do within life, we're here to service. Whether that is being a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, that is a service in itself, because it's a service of compassion, of love and understanding. Being on a till in a supermarket checkout, that is being of service. You know, there's no detriment or no lower vibration of service than just being of service and serving humanity, no matter what level you do it at, as long as you do the service. And I truly believe, the legacies that people leave behind within that presence has inspired me of Kenneth to actually create those quotes, so that people, because he's passed to the spirit world many years ago, so people wouldn't know about Kenneth unless they would have seen him or, read his book. But now it's like people wouldn't see that. So I've sort of brought his work into a different light, so that people can acknowledge the greatness in his work that was missed in some respects, probably acknowledged and really grateful at the time. But he was known as eccentric with all these far out ideas. So when we look at that, what a great legacy that he's left. He's inspired me, and I've had so many people that have messaged me personally through the quotes that I've been given, saying, who is Kenneth Hartley? And it's really sparked up conversation, and I've been able to share this story. So it's really keeping his journey, his experiences, his memories very much alive. But do you know what? I was just a tiny piece, a tiny piece of that life that he had. And just think, if he made that tiny difference, I was that tiny difference for him, and it made such a massive difference within my life. Just think throughout his life how many people he would have touched, how many people with that ripple effect. Because I believe now, through me and sharing his work, that in turn is a ripple effect, because it still continues and life still continues. So he is now, you would say, because he's gone to the spirit world, he is now, you say he's in the past here, but really we brought him in the present and the future once more, because his soul and the essence of his soul still continues with his work. And I just think it's a fabulous way of looking at things, and our loved ones in the spirit world, like my sister, she'll always be kept alive in the memories and the joy that we share with her. But that poem now has been crystallized, so that will always be something that I can share, that will always ignite my soul, and hopefully ignite other people's souls to understand, empathize, and acknowledge within them. It may help them within their grieving process to move forward, that there is light and that there is understanding. And I think just within that, there's so many people that do touch our lives within this world, and there's so many people that touch our lives in the spirit world too. And I think it's being grateful to all those that have been present in our lives, whether it's physical or spirit side, and knowing that we can be truly inspired, not only from the past, but for the present, and to help the future as well, because we need that inspiration to move forward in whatever anything is, for new ideas, for new ways. It might be an old way that's regurgitated but brought into a new light, when we need to acknowledge all these things to help us move forward as in humanity, and developing and understanding the spirit world and our spirituality. So I just like to leave you with those words, and just so that you can think more about your own potential, and who are you to the world. What legacy would you leave behind Is it for your service? Is it for your friendliness? Or is it for your bitterness? Or is it for your betterness? You know, it makes you look at things in a different light of, like, if I was in the spirit world, what would people remember me by? What would they truly remember me by? And you have the power to become anything that your soul allows you to be. And it's about sitting within that stillness and allowing the soul to unfold, for you to be aware of who you truly are and follow it with all your heart. And I'd just like to leave you with those words. Thank you.
My goodness me. Thank you so much. I think you have given everybody a lot of food for thought. Certainly well, we all know who Ken Hartley is now, and people are already asking the title of that book again, and just so that people can have a look for it and how to purchase it. I'm sure we'll try and find it. What's it called? Sorry, Adam.
I don't actually think it's called Genesis to Genocide. And I don't think it's actually in publication anymore. I might be wrong, but and that's where I say where it sort of ends, you know, because people can't buy the book anymore. They can check for it. But I'm more than happy to post. In fact, I'm going to do a blog on my website about Kenneth Hartley, I think, and put all these quotes on there so they're all together, so people can look at all these work that I've sort of chosen to put together. So they'll have to look out for that, I think.
Super. What an amazing tribute to somebody, like you say, who just walked very softly through life under the radar, but actually had such wisdom. And yeah, the way you described the ripple effect was beautiful. Thank you so much. I was just about to say, my very good friend Letty, who's a complete bibliophile and can track down pretty much any book that you throw at her. Yes, so she is pursuing it. So everybody just go to Adam's website in the meantime, where the kind of compendium will come. What a great story and a great legacy. And a very interesting reflection on people being sent where help is needed most. Like you say, those people, those spiritual leaders being sent directly to the place where people need the most help. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful way to think about it. My goodness, so many gems in there. Thank you so much, Adam. And I absolutely love the poem that you wrote for your sister. And yeah, I had such a wonderful message for you from a very dear friend who passed, and it's been the first and only time she's come through. But that poem obviously just spoke to her, and she came connected in Bournemouth. So thank you for that. Wonderful. Hello to everybody who's joined and has literally come in and been spellbound by that. Hello to lovely Wendy. Hello, Wendy. Saying hello from Aberdeen. Wendy Lyon. I know your friend. Amazing. And so many people feeling so touched and such healing coming from your philosophy, Adam, that will just continue the ripple effect. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm reluctant to do it, but our evening has come to an end. What we're offering online is an abbreviated service. We took a gamble right back at the start of lockdown and said, how is the spirit moving us? And the reply came back loud and clear: focus on philosophy, focus on thoughts and readings and hearing people's reflections on where we are and our spiritual journey. And I think you'll agree it's been well worth the experience this evening. So thank you. So we are going to hand over to Adam to close our service with the closing prayer. And thank you for everybody that's been with us this evening, whether you're watching live or watching on replay, and for everyone who has shared this post and tagged in people who they feel would really benefit from it. That is so appreciated, and just sending that light even further. Thank you. So Adam, it's over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. If you can all just go into that silence again, just finding that sacred space once more as I just close this service in prayer. Divine and infinite Spirit, as we close this beautiful service of healing, we acknowledge your presence throughout. We ask that the beautiful power of healing and inspiration is directed to all the homes and families that each person represents on this virtual community. as we close this service in your truth, honour and love. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. It's come to that time of the evening where we are going to send you on your way out into the world with Adam's words and the words from Spirit ringing in your ears. Think about the legacy, and every day we choose where we are, where we put our energy. Absolutely beautiful, and what our legacy is going to be. We can start it today. We can start it today. A new legacy. What a lovely idea. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you for everyone that joins every week. We're here every Sunday at 6:15 on our Facebook page with a different medium, the amazing array of spiritual workers that are out there at the moment working. But for this evening, thank you so much, Adam, for being with us. And thank you everyone for being with us this evening. Thank you. Cheerio, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye.